What's up, everybody? Man, I ain't done a live in so long. I figured I'd jump on here and do at least a short one, and mainly explain some of my videos because I get a lot of questions, and I'm not real good about answering questions or replying to comments. I'm sorry. I'm just really busy. So I figured what we could do is I could jump on here and we would look at a couple of videos, maybe a video, and answer some questions. And there's one that's really popular. And I mean, I get a lot of questions, and I really want to address that video. You'll see here in a second. But I'm on and off a lot, so I'm sorry about that. I don't get to record regularly, mainly because of my schedule. So, um, well, let's get into it. So, what we want to look at is, let's go down here to playlists. Right here to the how to. So we're going to scroll on down to this video right here. 9.1 thousand. Actually, not a lot of views, not even as many as the one above it or the one below it. But in the one right here, the one below it, the making your own catch bowl, I showed you how to make a simple, easy catch pole for mainly for trappers. If you needed help with non-target animals, getting animals out of your trap. But let's take a look at this video right here. A lot of questions, a lot of feedback. People wanted to know why I didn't put a cable lock on mine. Well, there's a simple answer to that. Billy or Biggie, which I don't know both of them, is usually with me. With a cat or a fox. I can step on a trap lever with my feet and usually open it up. Okay, so let's talk about something right here. Hang on, man, this OBS is killing me. I swear. So in this video, I'm talking about upgrading the original. The original, basically, you take a piece of electrical conduit, put a cap on each end, drill a hole, run a cable through it, put a cable anchor on one end, and that gives you a loop. And you take the other end, you put the loop around the animal, and you just pull the cable. You could hold it against the tube. Excuse me. So this one, what I did was made it two-piece, number one, so that it was a little easier to carry in a pack or whatever. So what that caused was you had to put a joint, and everybody wanted to know if the joint was a weak point. Well, it hasn't been for me. I was asked the direct question whether I've actually used this device on animals. Yeah, I've used it on foxes, coyotes, raccoons. Um, Biggie currently uses one of my builds in the field. Um, so what we're looking at is it's one. Another question was whether it was Schedule 40, Schedule 80. I don't know. I went to Lowe's. um, I went to Lowe's. I ordered. Why am I getting an error? Oh, man, this OBS, y'all. It's a learning curve, man. But anyway, whether this is Schedule 40 or Schedule 80, I don't know. It was electrical conduit, and those are just conduit caps. The joint was just a conduit coupler. I don't even remember what size I used. And like 1 inch, something. Anyway, you're gonna drill a hole in the side of the conduit, put the cable through, stick it back through this end, put a ferrule, whatever, little smash thingy on it, pull it back. That'll anchor it, and then you just loop it around, run it through the cap, and glue the cap on, run it through here, and back through here. And now you got a two-piece. You can just, snap them together. I use a two-piece. I've used it on coyotes, bobcats. No, I've never used it on bobcat. I've grabbed several raccoons, a few coyotes, and a few foxes, and never had a problem. So let's go on and take a look at the rest of this. But just generally, I'm not by myself. That was I hope y'all have audio. So, in response to that, I was going to show you guys. I don't know. Here's it doesn't show me that you can make one that locks. If that's what you need. If you're by yourself, you work your line by yourself, you need one that locks. So I'll show you how to do it. And I also got a tip. I believe the gentleman's name was Alan. This was something that I never did. It never crossed my mind. But he brought up how to put a 60-inch catch pole in your pack. Usually I just lay it around across the rack of my four-wheeler and go on. But if you're, it's just cut the pipe. And people made this way too complicated. So what? Yeah, that was the other thing. Used an 8-foot stick of conduit, or a 6-foot, I think. Whatever you buy at Lowe's, buy them in a stick. Cut it in half, and that's where the coupling come in. I only did that to make it packable, nothing more. It did not hurt structural, and it allowed it to go in a trap basket or a backpack. What you're going to do is you're going to build it the original way, 3/4 inch conduit to the end here. That gives you your anchor point. You can go back and watch the video on how to do this stuff. To anchor or to glue in the anchor. The other thing I want to show you guys, I went in and got some extra cable because we're going to make another one of these. I don't know if we're going to do it today. I think it's, I tell in the video, 330 seconds, I think, aircraft cable. When you run it through and you get all the way to the end, just get a T-handle like you put on a chainsaw or a weed eater or just any pull cord, and smash the little thing on the cable and seat it in the T-handle. Now you've got a handle. The other big question was this device. I don't know if y'all can see it right here. This is the lock. This was the part brain, whatever, of this build. What that is a clothesline tensioner. So basically a one-way tensioner. You put it on a clothesline, run the clothesline through it, and then as your clothesline starts to sag, you just pull it and it gets tighter, and it can't pull back through. So it fits in whatever I said in this video. I think it was 1 inch I used on this build. And I just used some good quality epoxy cover because it's actually almost splined on the outside. Don't know why. It's just how I bought it. It come from Lowe's. That's another big question I get is where can you source these parts? Because I know people watch these videos overseas and they said they didn't know where to get it in their country or what it was called. I don't know. I'm not from your country. Can't help you on that. Here, you can go to any big box retail hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot, Menards, whatever. And it's a clothesline tensioner. That's all it is. Covered in epoxy, it seats because it's tapered, and it'll seat in the end of the conduit. And so it's just glued in. Cable runs through it with the T-handle. And you've got your loop. When you attach your loop, you pull the T-handle, and it just pulls through that clothesline tensioner. Remember, it won't pull back. That's all that is. It wasn't anything special, and it wasn't anything fancy. I didn't have to hunt for it. It was literally sourced locally. But as far as where you can get it, I don't know. Fast forward, edit, and post. You want to put a lock on your... The lock, I really like the lock. All the ones we build now uses those locks. We get them at Lowe's. I'm not advertising Lowe's or supporting Lowe's, but that's where they come from, and as well as the handles. So, hope that helps. I mean, I'll show you how to do it in the video. And everybody's like, I didn't see a close up. I couldn't see this. Well, I don't do YouTube for a living, and I've learned a lot over 4 years. So, but you can see right here. See, that lock is just glued on. I said in a while ago. I meant over. It glues over. Cable runs up through the middle, and this little piece out here on the end is like a plunger. So when you want to release tension, you just pull up on that plunger, and it releases the cable. You can pull the cable back through, especially if you got tension on it. Just pull up and release some slack. And basically, it just kept you from having to try to fold the cable around to the catch pole and hold tension on the cable while you held tension on the animal. Coyotes really ain't that bad. Everybody thinks they're these rabbit killing machines. I don't know why. 90% of the time, you put them in a catch pole, they cower. They just give up. So there's that. Yeah, I made a mess. I got epoxy there. We this epoxy cures. We're still waiting on that, but there it is, and they gave you a 60-inch catch ball. That'll wrap it up. And like I said, I was asked, have I ever used it? What would it hold? I wouldn't catch snakes. Got a bunch of questions about whether you could use it on snakes. Yeah, yes you could. I wouldn't. I think it's kind of dumb. But I have used it on coyotes. I probably wouldn't grab a hold of a bear, but use a little common sense, man. It's a plastic pipe. You should be able to control a coyote, even a bobcat, and get them pinned to the ground and get your knee on them. You just got to remember when you're dealing with coyotes and bobcats, whatever, it's just a lot like snakes. You just got to stay away from the parts that'll hurt you. Claws and teeth. That's it. So you get them around the neck and you pin them down. A coyote will soul up and you grab him by the scruff of the neck. A bobcat will, to a point. They just, man, they have a lot of attitude. But claws and teeth, that's all you got to avoid. And you're mainly using these to remove non-target animals. So you catch a raccoon in a foothold you don't want, you grab a hold of him and pin him down. And that pole is 60 inches. So you should be able to get up there and step on the trap levers and open it up, or, enough, because he's going to be trying to get away, and that lets him pull out. So hope that helps. You have to give me a second. Okay, so excuse me. I'm telling you, man, I'm struggling with this OBS. What do we? Let me do something while I'm here. So another thing I got a lot of questions about was this video right here, the Can-Am battery relocation. I'm going to sum up a lot of those questions by simply saying, I don't know. I took it to a shop, told him what I wanted, told him how I thought maybe it should be done or what was in my head, and told him to do what needed to be done safely. And he did it. So I got a lot of questions about what size cable or what size power cable. Sorry, my headphones got out of whack. What size power cable? I don't know. He did it. How do you replace the trunk lid, or how do you modify the trunk? I don't like this on that ear. I don't know. My mechanic did all that. So I just simply showed you what we did and how it was done. I highly recommend anything that can start a fire or anything like that, you take it to a mechanic and let them do it. It's what they get paid for. So we're going to take just a break, and I'm going to get something queued up, and then, well, I'm going to get, I don't know what I'm doing, man. But I'm going to get something queued up, and we're going to move on and hopefully hit one or two more. So we'll be back in a minute. So, one thing, hang on. Let me. Okay. So, trying to think what other videos we want to look at. What y'all think? I don't think where I get the most questions that I don't answer. Tell you another video we want to look at while we're here. But I don't remember where it's at. Go to my popular videos. Yeah, right here. It's copperhead myth. So we're gonna talk about this. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this video. What's up? Misunderstandings about. So it's not a huge thing to me, but copperheads are the big one that I hear a lot. I have a lot of copperheads where I hunt, and I hear a lot about it. Number one, they smell like cucumbers. No, they don't. I don't know what you folks are smelling when you see a copperhead, but they don't smell like cucumbers. They might musk, and it is extremely stinky, but it don't smell like cucumbers. So that's myth number one. Number two is baby snakes, the baby copperheads, can't control their venom. Okay, so let's talk about these two real quick, and then we'll get back to that. What did I do? Man, so BS, dude. So the cucumber thing, I have people argue with me to no end. And hey, if that's what y'all believe, then good for you. Good for you. There's plenty of scientific evidence. It's been studied, it's been tested, and it's just not true. The other thing is the baby snakes. Um, they can control their venom. Matter of fact, I don't remember if I talk about it here or not, but if you look at venom yield, which is the amount of venom the snake produces, adult snakes actually produce more venom, which means venom is measured in how much venom it would take to kill you. Okay. So, making up numbers. This is not copperhead numbers, only because I'm not super well versed in copperhead numbers. But if it would take 1 cc of venom to kill you, or let's just say 5, if it takes 5 cc's of venom to kill you, a baby snake only may produce 2 cc's. Okay. Whereas an adult snake may produce 10. Now, those numbers are very inaccurate, but that's why they say some snakes are more deadly than others, because of their venom yield and potency. So, potency doesn't change with a snake's age. Once it starts producing venom, it produces that same venom. What changes is yield. So a baby snake may only deliver 2 of the needed 5. That's not going to kill you. It's not going to kill you. But an adult snake, even though it has 10, may only deliver 2 because it doesn't want to waste it. And that won't kill you. So let's just go back and say that the baby produces 5 and it only takes 5 to kill you. They can control. They can bite you and only deliver 1 or none. But they're a lot more defensive, so they're a lot more apt to deliver the full 5, and that can kill you. Does that make any sense? So, baby snakes are not more venomous. That drives me insane. It's one of the biggest myths that I hear. And people will argue with you, man. They will die on that hill. But it's not true. Okay? It's not. Sorry. The venom yield is higher in adult snakes. So, adult pit vipers are more dangerous, even though adolescent are more aggressive. And while we're on this subject, let's talk about cottonmouths, water moccasins, Echistrodon. No, that's copper. I don't remember the Latin name. Whatever, you know what I'm talking about. People will argue that they will chase you. No, they won't. Well, I had one chase me. My granddaddy had one chase him. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Snake just happened to be going where you were. They're not chasing you. They're trying to get away from you. Just because you're both headed the same direction doesn't mean they're chasing you. When you're driving to Walmart and somebody's behind you in the car going to Walmart, doesn't mean they're following you. Right? They're just going to the same place. So, now let's get back to copperheads. Because I don't remember
Not
what
true
else.
at all. They can. As a snake ages into adulthood, the venom even becomes more potent, more toxic. Juvenile snakes are less venomous, with each bite. Snakes don't hunt humans, okay? Pit vipers don't. They can't eat you. They have no reason to hunt you. They bite you in self-defense, okay? Every cottonmouth I've ever run up on has been quite docile. They just want away from you. A cottonmouth will usually coil up and open his mouth. That's where they get their name. I
explained the posture.
But guys, the biggest thing we got to remember is we're in their living room, okay? And another thing, snakes are venomous. They're not poisonous. It doesn't attack the nerve.
I get into talking about some of the venoms anyway, but I just wanted to go over that one. So if you look, some of the questions that were posted here was, and this one, I got a lot of emails on this one right here. What type of trap would you use if you had a problem around our house? Don't know. I don't trap snakes. Sorry. Can't help you. I would love to help you, but I can't. So that's some of the big questions that I got. I don't remember trying to cover. Man, I don't know. We may wrap this up here. See, that was the catch pole. The rainproof your dog pens. Yeah, that one. Yeah, see, these are all the most popular. So we covered the catch pole. We covered the battery relocation. Go back and watch the videos. I explain it, I thought, pretty well. The rainproof in your dog kennels, all I did was make curtains. It's chain link, right? So I just made curtains. And this is pretty simple. I'm not an engineer. if you have a 6-foot high fence, something 12 foot wide will cover it twice, right? So fold it in half. So you need like a 10 by 12. It's 10 foot long, 6 foot high. Fold it in half, and you can put a piece of like a 2x4 at the bottom, keep it weighted, and then you can use that 2x4 to roll it up. And you can make curtains. You can do it on every side, mainly with dog pens, because I'm a breeder. I raise blue tick coonhounds. We also have a new one. Let's see if I don't know if you can see this picture. Da, 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 da. Man, I hate it when it does that. But we did acquire a new male. He is adorable. I'm waiting on his papers to come back so we can breed our female. If you can see, where's the camera? There he is. He's a good looking dog. I'll try to get this picture uploaded so you can see it. But yeah, he's a good looking male. It was actually a rescue. We had to do a court order rescue to remove him. Anyway, so anyway, the rainproofing your dog pens video, it's nothing special, man. Just take a tarp, and, lace it to the fence across the top and let it hang. 6 foot tall, you'll need 12 foot. Double it over, put a piece of lumber in the bottom for weight, and then you can roll it up in the summer. Remember, with dog pens, really, what you're, at least in the South, I'm assuming everywhere else, never lived anywhere else. You just that north side is where all your cold is. So keep that in mind. I covered the catch pole. Let's see what else. Alabama Gold Camp. I actually got recognized down there. I like that. Y'all should go check it out. It's a lot of fun. Me and a very, very close friend of mine went down there, and we got a little gold. Had a real good time, and it's a quaint, cozy place back in the woods. But another video that came up in the popular was the River Country Trekker 2.2. So, excuse me, I never went back and talked about how well it did on the trail. Actually, did very well. Did very well. We used it on the Appalachian and Savage Gulf, and really liked it. I will say I left it in a closet. It got chewed the hell up by mice. So, but I guess any tent could do that. So, it's pretty durable. I recommend it. So, what else do I get a lot of questions on? Some of my videos get a lot of views. Some of them don't. I don't know if it's the way I'm tagging them or the algorithm or what. Kind of aggravating, but you know. This video right here, making the perfect fire. Go, give it a watch. But on your outdoor skills, and I harp on this when I'm out at the cabin and I'm doing stuff and I'm talking to you guys. You have to practice these skills. It is so important because when you can make a fire in normal, dry, windless conditions with plenty of tinder and plenty of fuel, that's not where you're going to be lost in the woods. Okay. That's not where this hunting trip is going to go wrong. That's not the conditions that you're going to find yourself stranded. Okay. So you need to practice all these techniques in all types of conditions. Even if it's just going out in your backyard and trying, some of these fire starting techniques. You need to be practicing them. You don't get proficient by watching a YouTube video. It is what it is. I'm a big fan of some of the bushcraft and survival guys. I learn a lot from them, but you learn basics. Your technique literally comes from repetition. So go out and do this stuff. Go build shelters. Go start fires. Go out in your backyard right after it rained. Try to start a fire without a lighter. Take your big lighters, run them under the tap in the sink, get them wet, try drying them out. Practice. You've got to practice this stuff. Man, and a lot of this stuff that I've done. Why am I okay? Again, bear with me because I don't. Huh. Man, this OBS. I swear. I should have been using this thing like 10 years ago. I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't know. Oh, okay. Okay. Alan Smith. When you going back to Alan? Why is it not showing up over here? So, I don't know. Fishing, hunting. Man, dude, I would be so down for that. Me and my good friend that went down there with me, we were wanting to rent a dredge. We really want to get a dredge. We think we can get some gold out of the creek. A lot of people that I've talked to down there said that they did really well dredging. All we ever did was run the sluice. So now, as far as when I'm going back, I don't know. I hope this summer. I really hope to go. That's okay. Figured out something in OBS. I'm trying to go back this summer, and we also talked about going to a place in North Carolina. So if you look at the gold band of the U.S., it runs right along the Appalachian. Excuse me, and kind of empties out right there at Linville, Alabama. That's where the tail of the gold strip is. You can go up through Dahlonega. There's a place in Dahlonega. I think it's more touristy, Dahlonega, Georgia. It's a little more touristy, and it's based more around like gemstones, and you go in there and sort through some rocks and find a shiny one and take it home. But man, I would love to go down to Alabama and run a sluice, maybe do a little hunting or some fishing. Man, I'm glad you stuck around with the channel, and I'll definitely keep you in mind. We'll see if we can do something this summer because we're definitely ready to go back. School, and I don't know if you followed since I've been back at the cabin, but I just graduated school again at almost 50 years old, and had a house fire, and my daughter moved back home, and so there's a lot going on. It really was. But now you got me excited. I love going down there. So let's see. Yeah, I did a lot on beginner mistakes, and I did because I made a lot of mistakes in the beginner. And this coon bait, that was like one of my very first video, 5 years ago? Uh, what? No, move. No, won't let me move. figure. Um, yeah, we do, man. We do. I would love to. I would love to. I have the big Beech Bluff Outdoors logo on the back window of my truck. Met 2 or 3 people down there. Had one gentleman comment. He's like, "Hey, that's me in the background." He was the next spot over. Uh, it was really cool. It was really cool. Um, but go back and watch this easy raccoon bait video. I still use this bait to this day. There are some easier ways. Honey buns, just plain tuna. Cat food does okay, but I went over bait choices, and honestly, that was 4 years ago, and that's all changed. I'm currently picking up, anytime I see new bait or whatever, I get it and try it. The survival zones of assessment, that never changed. Top 5 survival items for your hunting pack. You know, this was a fun video and interesting. So I encourage all of you to sit down and look at your kit and think, challenge yourself. If I were going to be stranded, what 5 items would I want to have on me? And build your kit around those 5 items. Remember, candling, cutlery, a pot, fire, and shelter. And it's fun. My possibles bag from 4 years ago, that's changed several times. So anyway, I used this bow saw that I made just the other day. So, these tools work. But that'll pretty well wrap it up, I guess. I'm going to I'm gonna call this done, I guess. But that's really what I wanted to do. Chat with you guys and uh, answer some questions. So I hope that answered a few. And this was fun. I'm gonna start. My internet, I swear. But we 128. Well, don't tell me what my bit rate is. Oh well. Try to remember that. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. And I guess we're gonna call it done. So I hope that answered some questions. And I love that you guys ask questions, and I encourage you to keep asking questions. I'll try to do some lives more often, and we can talk and discuss some things, because there's still some things with the cabin that probably need to go over. So I appreciate you guys joining me. Had a blast, man. Really learning to use OBS, but had a good time. And maybe we can, man, I don't know why it does that. Anyway, maybe we can do it again soon. So hope that answered some of the questions. And I'll keep reviewing. That's what I've been doing, is reviewing my channel and see if can't come up with some more stuff. And I want to start doing. There's some things I want to talk about. Missing 411 and missing in parks, state park, national park, outdoor paranormal. I am fascinated by it, and I want to address some myths and legends, and let's talk about that. And really want to talk about when hunts go wrong, because that's a lot of survival and first aid and whatnot. I've got a list down there if you're wondering what I'm looking at, and I'm gonna go back over bug out bags because I've done some videos over the years, and the giveaway I started 2 years ago that I never finished. I still want to do that. So anyway, I appreciate you tuning in, and I guess we'll catch you in the next one. See you guys.